Unscripted.
Unscripted? Really? Your stuff's unscripted? Bro, no way. It's not a Crapgamer video if there's not a few seconds of just silence that he forgets to cut in the beginning.
You guys probably remember a while back I said, you know what, I don't trust any of these executives. I think that they're all in it for the money. They're all in it for themselves. And
You don't trust executives? Really? Crapgamer doesn't trust executives. Everyone clip that. Take that clip and have it ready on your phone or on your computer to tweet at him next time he praises an executive.
obviously we have that type of situation sort of rear its ugly head.
Yes, the loss of PS5 exclusives to the PC and the expansion of the PlayStation brand, the expansion of these player bases, of these potential buyers. It's an ugly head that's rearing. I hate this.
And, you know, at the same time, I think that it's something that clearly a lot of people are going to be talking about. And, you know, I think that it's something that a lot of people are going to be, you know, kind of split. This is going to be one of those topics that you're going to probably see a split. And you might not even see a split 50-50, but you're going to see some kind of split, whether it's 70-30 or 80-20. There's going to be some kind of split there. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out long term.
Oh, no way. So it's a thing that not every single person is going to agree with? So it's a thing?
As for me personally, I feel like this news does take some shine off of it, but I'm going to get into a little bit of that a little bit later.
I'm going to get into a little bit that.
If you guys are wondering what I'm kind of talking about here, Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation, made a bunch of announcements today, but one of the main things that he announced was that a big group and contingent of PlayStation exclusives would be headed to PC.
Now, we all knew this was coming, and it's already been happening, and it blows my mind that people are always surprised when more of them are announced. It's like, you really thought they were going to stop at Horizon Zero Dawn, or Death Stranding, or all the stupid David Cage games? Like, you really thought they were going to stop there? No, they're not going to stop there. The PC is a dramatically bigger audience than the PlayStation brand. I know people get pissy when I say that, but like, that's just reality. There's way more PC players than PlayStation players in the world. Why would they not tap into that market?
Now, a lot of people probably don't feel one way or the other about this. You know, some people are platform agnostic and, you know, they will only buy a PlayStation to play, you know, the exclusives or whatever to begin with.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people, you're kind of a weirdo. Like, if you buy a PlayStation and then only play exclusive PlayStation games, like if that is a thing that you do, you're kind of a weirdo.
So now those people will probably not buy a PlayStation and they'll probably just wait for them to come to PC or whatever, which is another contingent. For like someone like me, I despise PC gaming at its core.
And you've never really given legitimate reasons why. You've tried to explain why you don't like PC, but all of your reasoning is wrong. Like, factually wrong. I would love to see a 2021 video from Crapgamer explaining why he hates PC gaming. Please. I'm begging you to make that video.
And I will never be a PC gamer, so I continue to buy consoles, and I guess, so nothing much really changes for me personally, except for, you know, you get a little bit less of that kind of A-class feeling that this stuff comes out. So yeah, there is a little bit of that.
What do you mean less A-class feeling? The game is literally the same. These people are so fucking weird, man. It's like the game is literally the same, but because it's on multiple platforms, you feel less excited about it. Like, there are people who legitimately feel like this, and I will never understand it. You people are fucking weird.
Going on as well. So, you know, I kind of wanted to get into this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I waited. I was busy. This video is like a week and a half old. I've been busy. Sorry.
Because there is a lot to cover here, and I wanted to jump into it. So, let's get started. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews.
Oh, what's up, guys? Crapgamer here. 2 minutes and 11 seconds into your video. Bro, look, stop. Just stop doing this. 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the video. What's up, guys? It's the host of the video you've been watching for more time than the average Descendants song.
Back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you're looking for a way to help out my little pissant channel, that's the best way to do it.
That's the most accurate thing you've ever said about your channel. Also, my mom used to say pissant all the time, and I wasn't sure why. Like, I never knew what that meant, and I never knew where that came from. It's such a weird expression. But now whenever somebody does say pissant, I just think of my mom. Anyways.
And shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. I think you guys are all great. Thank you guys very much for always rocking out with me.
I'm sorry. It's just funny to hear you talk about how great your audience is and how wonderful your audience is. Like, these like to dislike ratios, bro, they would disagree with you.
Again, I want to get into this as quick as possible because I got a pretty hot take on this.
You really don't. You don't have a hot take on anything. You just have wrong takes.
So Jim Ryan did a weird video, and I'm going to link this so you guys can check it out. So this is basically what it says. What about PlayStation games on PC? A whole slate of them is on the way, starting with Days Gone this spring. So again, that word right there, a whole slate of them is on the way this spring. And, and then jumping right into what Jim Ryan says, I feel like that's something that is obviously very much going to be a heated topic and something that a lot of people are going to be talking about for a long time.
I think you're blowing it a tad out of proportion. Not that that would be out of character for you. PlayStation games are coming to PC. Just get over it. That's what's happening. These companies don't give a fuck about you. These companies don't give a fuck about me. These companies give a fuck about where the money is. And the money is on multiple platforms. That's the end of the decision making. Sony doesn't care about how faithful the fucking exclusive player base is. They care about what makes them money. And that's fine. I'm not poo-pooing them for that. They're a big business. They have to make money. There's a very obvious pile of money on this platform. Why would they not take some of it with a big shovel? People aren't going to continue talking about this for a long time because it's a very, very basic thing.
And, again, this is something that I feel like people are going to have a very different opinion on. Some people are just going to be like, you're overreacting. Oh, you're this, you're that. For me personally, I think that it does take off some of that shine, and it does sort of take away some of that wow factor of a console.
Question, how much shine and wow factor and zing kapow was there in a game like Knack or The Order 1886? You guys act like every exclusive is the greatest thing ever made and it has to be preserved on one platform. Just because a game is exclusive doesn't mean it's good. And just because it's good doesn't mean it should be an exclusive. In fact, I would argue the opposite. If a game is good, I would want it on a whole bunch of platforms so people can enjoy it and experience it. But that being said, you guys can keep Knack. We don't need that.
And, and I still think that the console is still going to be needed. But here's a question that they asked in this interview.
I mean, they're video games. They're not really needed, but...
So releasing PlayStation games on PC was something that Sony PlayStation held back on for a long time. Now it sounds like you're very much on the bandwagon. What changed? And Jim Ryan's response was as followed. I think a few things changed. We find ourselves now in early 2021 with their development studios and the games that they make in better shape than they've ever been before, particularly from the latter half on the PlayStation 4 cycle.
Yeah, they're good games and they should be experienced by more people than just the amount of people who bought a PS4. And also, these games would be a lot better if they weren't held back by the archaic technology of the PS4. Again, this really isn't that complicated.
Our studios made some wonderful, great games. There's an opportunity to expose those great games to a wider audience and recognize the economics of game development, which are not always straightforward. The cost of making games goes up with each cycle as the caliber of the IP has improved. Also, our ease of making it available to non-console owners has grown.
Yeah, that sentence was a little weird. That one's a little bit of PR speak, I think. I mean, he says the cost of games goes up, but it's easier to make it available. That's some oxymoronic PR nonsense.
So it's a fairly straightforward process and decision for us to make. This is following on from their publishing of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC in August of last year, and they asked how that went. He says, we assess the exercise in two ways. Firstly, in terms of straightforward success of the activity of publishing a game on PC, people liked it and they bought it.
Yeah, there's a giant market of people on PC. There's a giant market that you can sell games to. Doesn't matter what company you are, doesn't matter what your company's mission statement is or what your company's vision is, there's a giant market on the PC. And people need to realize that console gaming and the PlayStation brand is not super strong everywhere in the world where PC gaming is strong.
We also looked at it through the lens of what PlayStation community thought about it. There was no massive adverse reaction to it, which I call BS to.
I mean, no, he's right. There was no massive adverse reaction to it. It's just you live in an echo chamber. Twitter is an echo chamber. YouTube is an echo chamber. The amount of people watching videos on YouTube and looking at angry tweets about these things on Twitter are the vast minority compared to the overall buyers.
So we will continue to take mission steps in this directions. So obviously, this is something that, maybe they're a little bit off, with what they're talking about here. I think that
Yes, I'm sure Crapgamer has a great understanding of what the literal head of PlayStation. Like, I'm sure you have a really great grip on what's off about what he's saying.
clearly this is something that, for me personally, I feel like is a bit of a misstep.
And I cannot wait to hear your justification as to why this is a misstep. As to why putting games from the PS4, a console that's already been superseded, putting those games on another platform. I cannot wait to hear your justification as to why that's a misstep.
And I understand what the main thinking is right here, okay, right? So from the sounds of it, it sounds like, it's going to be old games. They're not going to be day and date, and that's good, like...
How did you get that? How did you get that? Like, what does Jim Ryan say that makes it sound like they're not going to be day and date? No, they're only going to be old games, guys. Thank goodness he said that. What the fuck did he say?
It's going to be like ports of PlayStation 4 games, you want to get... But at the same point, that means you can't go, well, Days Gone is exclusive, or Horizon Zero. Like, you literally have to throw the exclusive argument out of the door, because I think that it's going to be a situation, that really kind of represents the big change here, the big change that's coming.
Yeah, you won't be able to call those games exclusive anymore. You know what changes about the game? Literally nothing aside from the technical aspects. Games are going to run better on PC, yeah, but they're still going to be available on console. It's still going to be the same game design, it's still going to be the same level design. Like really, what is the problem?
I mean, it starts with Days Gone. I mean, it started with Horizon Zero Dawn, so right away you can't list that game as a PlayStation exclusive.
Wait, I thought it started with all the David Cage games.
And you know that the sequel will probably go to PC at some point as well. Days Gone as well was a game that... And you can't really go... Well, maybe those games sold poorly or whatever, because they're not. I mean, Days Gone supposedly sold 7 to 10 million in that range.
Which is extremely depressing, I think. That was one of the worst parts of 2019. The fact that Days Gone sold that many copies.
Horizon Zero Dawn was in the 10 to 15 million range.
Yeah, that one confuses me too. Horizon Zero Dawn is not that good of a game. Like, it's fine. It's pretty. It has its moments, but like that many
I would imagine that Spider-Man's going to go to PC, and that's at the $20 million sold range. So again,
that one makes total sense. Spider-Man slaps.
You're going to see a bunch of these games go to PC, and it really does take away sort of that exclusive mentality. And again,
okay, let's play a fun game here. Spider-Man sold, I don't know if this is right, but by your words, Spider-Man sold 20 million copies on one platform. Okay, that's the baseline. Let's play a fun game called How Many Copies Will It Sell on Another Platform with more of a user base. I'm not saying it's going to outsell the PS4 version, because usually PC games don't outsell the console counterpart for big multi-plats like that, because there's just more games on PC. But I mean, do I have to bring up GTA's PC sales? Should I bring up Minecraft's PC sales? I mean, heck, should I bring up Horizon Zero Dawn's PC sales, which were very impressive? It's really not hard to see.
I've stated this multiple times, because a lot of people go, well, exclusives are anti-consumer or stupid anyway.
And those people are correct. Exclusives are anti-consumer.
There shouldn't be exclusives, and I always point this out, okay? You have 3 consoles.
Well, really 2. The Switch is kind of in its own world.
Okay, you have a Nintendo, you have a PlayStation, you have an Xbox. If all 3 of these consoles played the exact same games, how long do you think we would continue to have 3 consoles?
For however long they would continue to innovate with their hardware and their services and their performance. People always say that, like, oh, without exclusives, consoles will die. Absolutely, completely wrong. If there were no console exclusives, people would still want a simple machine they can buy at the store and put underneath their, by their coffee table or under their TV bench thing. What do you call the table that you put your TV on? Like a cabinet? I have mine on a coffee table, but anyways, there still would be demand for a simple gaming machine like that, at which point the consoles would compete with the console themselves and what the console can provide you, if not the games. How much does it cost to play those games online? Is there a good subscription service available on that console? How well does that console run the game? Because obviously the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, they both play a lot of the same multiplats, but they don't run them exactly the same way. Which one runs it better? What's customer service like? What features do these consoles have outside of gaming? One of the reasons why the Xbox One and the PS4 were so underwhelming was because they put almost no effort into the hardware and the additional features of those consoles. Well, Microsoft put a little too much effort, but I feel like you know what I'm trying to say. The PS4 and the Xbox One were hilariously underpowered because they were banking so much on exclusive titles and just holding games hostage. How much further do you think the consoles could be pushed if the companies involved weren't thinking like that?
Right? Like, we wouldn't have 3 consoles for very long, because if I could play Xbox games and Nintendo games on a PlayStation, that's what I would do.
Yeah, you would have a preference. You see what I'm saying? You would have a preference out of the various consoles. If they all play the same games, you would still have a choice to make because of your own reasoning. Interesting how that works.
Okay, and probably since PlayStation is the most popular brand, that's what, 80% of people would do.
But why is it the most popular brand? Why is it the most popular brand? PS4 sold what, 100-something million units, but Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn, you said those sold like 7 to 10 to 15 million copies. There's a lot of outliers there. Why is PlayStation more popular than Xbox? Because it's not just the exclusives. You're so close to getting it.
Which would mean Microsoft and Nintendo would stop creating consoles, and, and they would be we'd be at Sony's mercy.
At Sony's mercy. You realize the PC has Sony by the balls, right? Like, you realize the PC has the whole gaming industry by the balls.
There would only be one, and then without that competition, we would all be stuck in a situation where Sony could charge what they want, do what they want, and that's not good for anybody.
Oh, so competition is good now. Interesting. Because 5 fucking seconds ago, you were saying exclusives need to stay. Which one is it?
Exclusives really push the industry.
No, they don't.
They they differentiate the consoles themselves from each other.
I mean, they used to, but not really now. 90% of exclusives on both platforms are just third-person action games.
And I understand that PC's different platform, and I'm fine with that, because listen, I was an Xbox fan for a long time, and even though people like to bring up something that happened in 2016, like me and Phil going at it over Quantum Break going to PC.
Yeah, I gotta say, Phil Spencer probably does not spare you a single thought. Like, ever. He probably had that Twitter exchange with you in 2016, and then you never crossed his mind again. You're giving yourself way too much credit.
It wasn't just because it was going to PC. It was because it was going to PC 3 weeks. They announced it 3 weeks away from launch, where for 3 years they called it an exclusive to Xbox. Okay, that's the huge difference. Xbox has always had games that were on PC and console. Halo 1 and Halo 2, Gears 1. You just continue to kind of look at it that way.
Wait, Halo 1, Halo 2, and Gears 1 all went to PC. Did I misunderstand? All 3 of those games were on PC.
They've always had a lot. KOTOR.
Microsoft had nothing to do with KOTOR.
They always had a lot of games that were on both. That was not really my issue. Like, I do think that you need something specific to your platform to keep people vested and to keep people interested and to give people a reason to want your platform.
Yeah, like the platform.
But for me, it's almost like, look, Sony just posted their biggest, income revenue ever.
Yeah, and that revenue is going to get even higher once they put their games on a bigger platform. I feel like I'm repeating myself.
Okay? Their biggest ever. They basically are making what Nintendo and Xbox divisions are combined, and yet that's not enough.
No, it's not enough because they're big companies. And if you're a big company and you have an easy way to increase your revenue, yeah, you do that. Welcome to economics. I hope you enjoy your stay.
You know what I mean? I understand that the price of games are going up and stuff like that, but they're literally making more money than they ever have before.
Yeah, so why would they stop there?
And so much like Microsoft trying to double the price of Xbox Live Gold, I feel like this is a bit of a misjudging the room and kind of reading the room wrong.
I'm sorry. Microsoft doubling the price of Xbox Live and Sony putting their exclusives on PC. You think those are equally bad in terms of not reading the room? Do I have that right? Microsoft trying to double the charge of something you shouldn't have to pay for, and Sony making their games more available to more people. You think those are equally bad? Wow.
And I do feel like that's kind of a mistake. At the end of the day, am I going to continue to buy PlayStation games? Yeah.
So this affects you not at all?
I'm a console gamer. For the same reason I still buy Xbox and Xbox games, okay, is because I'm never going to be a PC gamer. I'm never going to be a cloud gamer.
Yeah, so you're the person I was talking about. You're the person who plays on console and still buys multi-platform games. Because you don't want to play on PC, you want to play on console. You want to play those games, you just don't want to play them on PC. And that's an option. Weird. It's almost like I described that exact fucking thing 5 minutes ago.
Right? So the place for me to play are these consoles, and that's what I suspect most people will say,
Globally, no, that's not what most people would say.
and most people will do. But at some point, you have to realize Sony is keeping pushing people, right? They're going to keep pushing it, right? It started off as, well, we want, we're going to put, a game here or there, maybe a multiplayer game on PC, right? And then, then it was a 3-year-old game, and now it's a 2-year-old game, and then next thing you know, it's a day and date game. And I think that that's probably where this is all headed. And
Yeah, that's a great thing. It's a very, very good thing for more people to have access to more games. That's always going to be a good thing, and you will never convince me otherwise.
And I guess each of us has to kind of assess that and look at it, sort of as it is, as a whole.
Crapgamer is the last person in the world to tell other people they should be assessing something.
And for me personally, is it going to stop me from gaming? No. Is it a little depressing? Yeah.
Imagine being depressed that more people get to play the games that you like. Like, imagine finding it depressing that more people get to play a game you hold in high esteem.
For me personally, like, as I get older, as I approach that big 4-0, and I've been gaming since like the 1980s.
Holy shit, you're almost 40? I'm sorry. I didn't know this. You're almost 40? What are you doing? Go outside. Who gives a fuck about this?
Just a lot of this stuff, I'm a hardcore, like, old school type gamer.
Old school gaming was on PC. Everything you say is just wrong.
And a lot of this stuff I don't like, and so eventually at some point I'll probably either, you either quit gaming or you game less.
You would rather quit gaming than deal with this. You're bringing up quitting gaming because games are going to the PC, and you're almost 40. Sorry, I'm still taken aback at that. How have you lived life this long and have such little understanding of how the industry works? Have such little self-awareness about these things? I'm never going to get over that.
And I think that that's probably a closer reality for me personally.
It's a closer reality that you quit. Oh my God.
And I do hope that, at the end of the day, that people actually go out there and sort of, make up for yourself.
Make up for yourself? You, Crapgamer, are now telling other... Holy fuck!
But if you were complaining about what Xbox was doing, I feel like this is something that you would complain about PlayStation doing, and I know it's just PS4 games for right now, but at what point is it going to be, PS5 games?
Hopefully really soon. Like, hopefully at the same time.
And then it takes away a little bit of that speciality and that little bit of extra, that good feeling of, that I think a lot of us have when it comes to these platforms, and I do hope that things change, and I do hope that things kind of continue to get better, but at the same time, like, I understand it from a business standpoint. Trust me, I completely understand it.
It really doesn't seem like you do. You say you understand it from a business standpoint, but everything you've said up to this point just screams you don't know how any business works, ever. Like, it's to the point that I'm convinced you've never even had a real job.
But at the same time, I'm like, man, this sucks. That's just my opinion. I just think that it kind of sucks. And
well, my opinion is that your channel is a joke. Is that too rude? I don't think it is. I've been recording 31 minutes and 15 seconds. There's another 32 seconds of your video. But just for the memes, I'm not going to finish it. Closing thoughts. PlayStation games going to other platforms are a great thing. PlayStation exclusives have never really been my thing outside of one or two, because I just feel like they're so boring and predictable and safe, and they're just not my thing. But clearly they're the thing of a lot of other people. So yeah, by all means, let other people play them. And also, another important factor people don't like to talk about, these games going to PC means these games are going to be preserved beyond one generation of gaming. If a game is exclusive to one console, outside of emulation, have fun playing that game once that console is not in production anymore. I adore Silent Hill 2. It's my all-time favorite game, and it still pisses me off that Konami has done nothing to preserve that game. The only way to play Silent Hill 2 is with an emulator now, or with an original PS2 copy. Don't play the HD collection. It's fucking terrible. They ruined it, but that's a video for a different day. Sony exclusives going to PC means these games are going to be preserved. It means these games are going to be enjoyed by a much bigger audience than ever before. These games are going to be more accessible to more people. And if you are a fan of games, yeah, you should be excited for that. If you're a fan of brands, this probably pisses you off. But guess what? If you're a fan of brands over games, I don't care about a single word that comes out of your mouth because you're a bootlicking idiot. Is that too harsh? It might have been. I might cut that. I'm going to go take a shower and order a pizza because it's Friday night and I'm about to get snowed in. Toodles.